tomorrow, then tomorrow becomes next week, next month, next quarter, next year, until eventually we end up doing nothing about it for a very long time. We need to remember that it's about what we do today and not tomorrow. It's like that Chinese proverb that says the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second best time is now, is today, this moment. Yesterday is in the tomb, tomorrow is in the womb. The only place you will ever be is today. I remember toying with the thought of running the marathon in February 2019 when that year's edition of the Lagos City Marathon was taking place. It wasn't until May, June that year 2019 that I made up my mind that I was going to run the 2020 Lagos City Marathon. I hopped online to check for the date and I saw that it was slated for 8th of February. So 6 months from February and it's August. So I say to myself, come August 1st, I'm going to start training. I'm going to start preparing for the 2020 Lagos City Marathon. Take note that before this time, I had not run in like forever. As August 1st draws closer, I'm just feeling so uneasy about the whole idea. I'm saying to myself, do I even still have the stamina to run? How am I going to run on the uneven roads around my house with all the vehicles? Won't I look weird? Won't people stare? Finally, August 1st comes and I'm just not feeling myself at all. I'm already telling myself I'm going to move my day of training to Monday the following week because it so happened that August 1st was a Thursday. In my mind, I'm trying to justify starting something new on the first day of a new week. It was at that moment that something Karen Lamb said came to my mind. A year from now, you will wish you started today. Immediately, that settled it for me and I hit the road running that very same day. To make the most of any venture, we must be committed to keep moving even when conditions aren't perfect. We will always have valid reasons for not doing and taking those steps we know we need to take to move our lives to a whole new level. It's raining, it's too sunny, the weather is too cold, the weather is too hot. I wish I lived in a better part of town, had better looking clothes, this equipment, financial resources, the connections. If you think about it, is that not what happens to many of us when it comes to taking that particular step that we need to take our lives to a whole new level? We say tomorrow, then tomorrow becomes next week, next month, next quarter, next year, until eventually we end up doing nothing about it for a very long time. To live a life of no excuses, exceed our limits, break barriers, crush our goals, smash records, and be those high performers that God has created us to be. We need to remember that it's about what we do today and not tomorrow. It's like that Chinese proverb that says the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second best time is now, is today, this moment. I remember reading somewhere, adults aren't any different from kids. The only thing is adults are kids with better excuses. The only thing standing in your way and in my way of achieving those things that we need to achieve isn't some dark force somewhere in our family ancestry, or like we like to say in this part of the world, village people. It's we ourselves and our excuses that stand in our way. And while those things may seem like valid reasons, we need to see them for what they really are: excuses. He that observes the wind will not sow. He that regards the clouds will not reap. Another way to say that is, don't sit there watching the wind. Get on with your work. Don't stare at the clouds. Get on with your life. I like the way Murdock puts it. He says, yesterday is in the tomb, tomorrow is in the womb. The only place you will ever be is today. And this is one reason I believe that many of us don't achieve those goals that we desire to achieve, because we are just so focused on yesterday and tomorrow that we do not see the opportunity that lies in our today. We are so focused on the bronze that lies in our yesterday, in our past, or we are so focused on the silver that awaits us in our tomorrow that we don't see the gold that lies untapped in our today. We are just so consumed by regret and nostalgia, or caught up in anticipation and apprehension, that we don't see the opportunity that lies right in front of us. That's another word for today, the word opportunity. The person that waits for perfect conditions will never get anything done. The conditions will never be perfect. When in life will the stoplights all be green? Short answer, never. So we might as well just get on with doing those things that we know that we need to do and see our valid reasons for what they are: excuses. That ability to see today as an opportunity makes a huge difference in our lives. To see today as a gift impact, to make an impact, change, add tremendous value to our lives. To not see today through the lens of yesterday, of nostalgia and regret, or see today through the binoculars of tomorrow, or anticipation or apprehension, but to see today through the magnifying glass of opportunity, and to ask ourselves, how can I make my today 10 times more than what it currently is? How can I add 10 times value to myself today? Intentional, fully alive, aware, and deliberate about our today. That we are not zombies, relics of our past victories or past failures, and neither are we junkies high on our future plans, but that we are deliberate, focused about the opportunities that lies in our today. To avoid getting stuck in perfection paralysis, I believe it's helpful to remember two things. Number one is Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law states that in life, whatever can go wrong will go wrong. In anything that we are trying to achieve, irrespective of the foolproof plan or strategy we might have put in place, whatever can go wrong will possibly still go wrong. Here you are, you have set up everything to host this event. You have rehearsed over and over again. You have used and tested that equipment over and over again. And just when it's showtime, just for some odd reason, that equipment might refuse to work. What do we do when such things happen? The only thing we can do is just to keep moving forward, to look for the next best thing, to look for the next available alternative, and keep moving forward. Or like the Nike slogan says, just do it. The second thing we need to remember is we can't perfect what we haven't started. To avoid getting stuck in perfection paralysis, we need to remember that we can't perfect what we haven't started. You can't steer a stationary ship or train. What we need is momentum. You need to get that ship or train moving before you can steer it to change its direction. If the ship or train was to remain in one spot, it's impossible to steer it or to change its direction. Momentum is vital, and this momentum comes from starting, from taking that first step. Even when everything around us seems sucky, and even though we have to start small, that small and sucky start will give us the courage to keep moving forward and to keep going, because having created our worst work, the only way to go from there is up. Every pro starts off as an amateur. Starting small and sucky beats staying sucky, and that's why we need to start, to take that very first step, to keep moving forward. We have absolutely no excuse. When we want to take that step, and those people who genuinely care and are concerned about us say things like, what if you take that step and the rain falls? Here's what might happen, like has happened to me several times. You may just step out of the house, hit the road running, and get back to your house and just be pleasantly surprised that the rain didn't fall. And in the case that the rain actually falls, we can go ahead and just enjoy the showers. No one owns today. Like the Adidas ad says, no one owns today. Not the past, not the future, not past failures or past victories, not the record books, not the champions, not what we have overcome. No one owns today. Today is free, up for grabs. Today is unwritten, undecided, unpredictable. It's our opportunity to do something and be remembered, or do nothing and be forgotten. You say you are going to be the best someday. Why not let your someday be today? Be committed to being the best version of yourself today. Today is mine. Today is yours. Today is ours. Today is yours. Own it. Take it.